It was nearly a year ago. I got this amazing red hat with 29029 on the front of it. And this hat, and I'm wearing it right now for those who are listening, um, was such was such an achievement because I climbed a mountain over a 36-hour period 8 times. And the significance of this now has become so important to me, this hat, that when I feel I need to be a certain person to step up to the things that I'm really afraid of, I put the hat on or I look at the hat. And this is what I want to talk about in today's episode, is how we sometimes have to step into the person that we need to be in order to become the person we want to be. So I remember Carrie Green saying this to me years ago. Carrie Green is a founder of the Female Entrepreneur Association. And I remember taking one of Carrie's workshops and Carrie saying to us, thinking about who you want to be in the future or something that you want to achieve. So for me, for example, returning back to my own art after a break, trying something new in my own art, stepping out of your comfort zone into areas that you don't usually, writing my book. So what's happening right now as I am writing my book, and I've been saying it for a long time, but I am actually writing it. I'm up to 20,000 words right now. My goal is to write another 10,000 this week. And as I'm going through that process, fear is kicking in massively. So I'm really enjoying the process, but it is definitely up and down. And I'm just going to say how I'm feeling at the moment doing this, because some of this might resonate with you. It's creative work, whether it's visual art, writing, it's creative work, and it's personal, deeply personal words that I'm putting onto the page that I know people are going to read. And when you are getting ready to put your art out into the world, you'll have the same feelings, I'm sure. And so what is cropping up for me at the moment as I write, and it's a really fine line of just immersing myself in the writing process, letting go of any kind of fear, any preconceived idea of what the end should look like. And I'm just letting go then of the fear around people judging those words, around it being coherent, around it having some kind of structure at the moment, around the idea in my head of people not enjoying it, not getting anything from it, because that is what stifles creativity. And this is what happens in art too, visual art, is that sometimes when we really think about our artwork as we're making it, and where is it going to go, and who's going to buy this, and how are people going to receive this, what are people going to say, it can just stifle the creative process. So as much as possible, I'm letting go of those preconceived ideas and immersing myself in the process, the creative process of writing, with my one aim in mind. I've got an anchor, I've got my flag in the ground, and this is the reason that I'm writing this book, is this reason. And I've got one person in my head who I'm writing this book for, and I'm bringing myself back to that. And it's really helpful. But what's happening as I'm going through this process is the inevitable fear that crops up. And it's really incredible to witness. Incredible in the sense of I'm never, ever amazed. I'm always amazed, sorry, by how fear just, I'm struggling to even articulate it, because I've been talking about this now for 7 years, mindset, and how our fears can crop up and disguise themselves. And this time in my life, as I am pursuing the book, I've realized now why it's taken me so long. And it's because I have some massive hurdles personally to jump over. And the act of putting the book out into the world for some reason is really terrifying. And I've realized it's deep rooted. There are some deep rooted fears. And a long time ago, I was recommending a book called The Tools by Stutz, the author Phil Stutz. And in that book, the author talks about the shadow part of ourselves. The shadow part is the part that is scared. It's like our inner younger self who's afraid of something. So, for example, now with the book, for some reason, there is a lot of stories coming up to the surface, not related to the book, related to my life, questioning everything in my life, questioning, am I really still good enough to do this? Should I be on this pathway? Should I be living here? Like, it's throwing everything into turmoil. And I know it's because of the book, because I've stepped out of my comfort zone so many times now. I recognize it. It's fear. So what's happening, and I'm so happy that I know this. This is why I'm saying it's so extraordinary and so hard to articulate, because it's totally bonkers the way the brain works. So it's almost like my inner child, or whatever you want to call it. There's an inner part of myself, the shadow part. There might be a few parts that now I'm in this book writing process and it's flowing and I'm actually really enjoying it. There is part of me deep down inside that's going, oh dear, we're going to be putting this book out into the world soon and you're going to be in danger. You're going to be putting yourself up. And we are vulnerable. People might say horrible things. People might hurt you, Michelle. We don't want to go there again. Remember what happened last time. And so there's part of myself saying this internally. And rather than just saying, let's not put the book out there, because that's not working anymore at this level that I'm operating at, where I'm enjoying it. So it's almost like there's these internal parts of yourself fighting with the today Michelle. Here's the today Michelle, excited to write the book. It's flowing. The words are coming. I'm visualizing it's going to happen. But there's still these little parts inside of me going, oh, we can't do this, but she's ready to do this. What are we going to do? We need to sabotage this. We need to sabotage this right now. It's like these internal parts of me are conspiring against my today Michelle. And they're going, right, okay, she's obviously not listening now to the book. She's excited about the book. So let's just start throwing some other crazy crap out there. So let's start rocking her world now and start throwing some thoughts into her head around, maybe she's not good enough to do anything in life. And so this is what I'm going through right now. I'm having to visualize, and I just did it this morning before I came on here. Had to visualize, and I visualized myself going into a room and seeing these inner parts of myself, these younger parts. The way I recognize my younger parts in a visual way is through my hair, because through the years, my friends laugh at this. Through the years, I've had every single hairstyle and hair color going, and so I recognize myself through my hair. And so there's two parts, and they came through in my visualization this morning. Terrified younger parts, and it really got me thinking about how the craziness of when we start to step up and we put our work into the world, or even before we put the work into the world, when we feel that we're getting somewhere and it starts to grow and we're growing that excitement, be aware that sometimes if you start to feel off kilter and you start to feel that you're having these crazy thoughts, sabotage, that's the reason why. There's internal in parts of you afraid to do this work, to put it out into the world. And so it brings me back to the question at the beginning about who we need to be right now. And so as much as possible now, I'm visualizing and thinking about the moment that I put the book into the world, and the excitement and the relief and the pride that I'm going to have in myself for actually doing this is going to be amazing. And yes, there are going to be people who don't resonate with the book. There are going to be people that read it and it's not for them. And I'll do as much as I possibly can on the cover to explain who the book is for. But there are going to be people that slip through the net. There are going to be people that just don't like my way of writing. But I know for a fact there are going to be people that will resonate with it, that will enjoy the book. And it's for them. And this process is for me. And that's who I need to be now, is stepping into that person and stepping into the brave person that gets behind the mission of why I'm writing this book and sharing that out with the world. And I am now looking at other authors and who did they become? And it's almost like when you're looking at other people you admire, who do I need to be now? I don't have to wait to become that author. I need to become that person now. I need to be that person now. And it's all about doing this in your own comfort zone as well. It's not about really pushing yourself into the deep, deep so that you're panicking. I, felt myself going into the deep, deep and panicking. So I've just pulled it back again so that I am dipping my toe. So, who do you need to be? And when I feel myself thinking, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can do this. And you don't have to climb a mountain 8 times like I did. I'm an all or nothing kind of person. Before I got this hat, there were other things that I looked upon to remind myself that I can do this. Little hurdles that you've overcome, bring them to the surface as a reminder. It might be a photograph of a time where you've celebrated something that you overcame. It could be a phrase that you print out or write out that reminds you of a time when you've overcome something or that you've achieved something, no matter how big or small. The purpose of this is for you. It's that trigger to say, yeah, I can do this. So they're my words of wisdom for you today. And I really want you to consider what you need to be, do, have, and especially who do I need to be? And thinking about that one trigger, that one item that you can use to really give you that sense of, yes, I can do this. It could be a song too. I listen to a song. Every time I listen to that song, it gives me that sense of, yes, I can do this. And this is what we're going to be doing in the workshops, in the Make Art Your Living workshops, revisiting our mindset, revisiting the way we react to situations, why we're doing this, reinforcing the passion that we have for the work that we do. What are we doing? What is the work that we're doing? And really taking those next steps to nurture and build relationships, to create our own art world. So thank you so much for listening, and I'll be back next week for another Motivational Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.